Hey guys, welcome back again to Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, where the proof is in the singing. I'm going to go ahead and do a vocal coach reaction to Def Leppard, and the song is Pour Some Sugar on Me. I've done a version, a couple of my students have done versions, and I'll try to do my best to put our versions in the description so you guys can check them out. But I wanted to point out, I've seen Def Leppard. In fact, one of the videos on the Bon Jovi one I just did, I'm not sure when I'm going to release these, but I got a chance to meet Joe Elliot backstage in the band. They were very, very nice guys. But I also watched all the mystery that goes on with a lot of the different tracks that they use, that they played to, etc. And I'm going to be pointing this stuff out along the way. Okay, let's do this. Here we go. Now, right up front, if you notice, Joel Elliott's not even singing. He's not even near the microphone. The microphone's over here, and you go, looking like a tramp, ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. There's all this stuff, whatever, that's not the right first lyric. But anyway, so there's already lead vocal tracks on here that he's not even pretending that he's singing them. So, they're using tracks, and they're using a lot of them, and they're using all the stuff from the album, and then some. Like this case, that's not even on the album. So let's continue. Love that riff. That's a really cool riff. The hoods, you can tell there's a lot of vocals going on there. It's not just a couple guys singing on stage, right? And they do a fabulous job. And Joe Elliott, man, I heard him warming up. All right, you betcha. Hey, he's got that kind of similar thing to AC/DC, Brian Johnson, where he's just using a lot of head voice, a lot of mixed head voice stuff, and just kind of pinching and squeezing to get up there. But he does a good job of it. I mean, he's able to hold his own for like 90 minutes or a couple hours doing that. So. Got a little sharp there, but that's all right. Now, if you notice, there's a double vocal. There's one underneath the one that he's singing on to help bring a lot of beef to his sound. So, there's there's this big, huge, rumble of girth underneath that's sustaining a lot of his sound right now to make it sound big. You hear all those? You hear all those vocals back there? He's having the audience and the backgrounds take up. He's not singing it, just like we talked about in the John Bon Jovi tune, "Living on a Prayer," where John's not going, whoa, he's not doing any of that. He's not singing the choruses either to save his voice so he can sing the verses and let the audience or let the band or let the tracks do his work for him so he can pace himself on the set a little better. This happened a lot in the 80s, unfortunately, and I think it's really what led a lot to the grunge movement, where they just went, gosh, it's so synthetic and, so much tracks, and it's the wall of sound is so big. We just want something honest and real. And so I think like when Pearl Jam and, all these different bands that came in the grunge, Nirvana came into the grunge era, predominantly even more so Nirvana, the kids just went, I relate way more to that than I do this, giant wall of sound that I can never really aspire towards. So anyway. A lot of people out there, man. So knocking on my door, right? There's some other, even though there are background singers live on the mic, they're singing into the track to get that sound. But you know what? Hey man, kudos to these guys, because I'll tell you what, like I said, I've seen him live and I've seen Joe Elliot and he's been spot on every time I've seen him. So I've never really heard him other than one thing I said, he's a little sharp there. It's hard. Remember I told you it's hard when you're singing low, and if you don't have really good monitors, it's hard to find your pitch when you're singing low. It's easier when you're in your upper register, but when you're down low, it's pretty tough. So especially with a giant wall of sound going on like that. And actually, Vivian Campbell, I think that's him that took over the gig here. Great guitar player, man. It was kind of weird to hear him join a band like this from, back in the Dio days. I remember like last in line, like I learned that solo, man. It was killer. So let's continue. Do you take sugar? One more! So anyway, I was going to say about Vivian is that so weird to hear him go from being such a guitar extraordinaire to kind of fit into this mold and really not get a lot of solos or anything and not showcase his virtuosity. So that was a little strange for me. But it was a perfect fit for the band because he played for the band instead of playing for himself. So anyway. Last one. Sugar on me. Pour some sugar on me. Come on, baby. Pour sugar on me. I'll give it enough. Some sugar on me. Oh, in the name of love. Nice. Hey, I also did, I'm not sure again when I'm going to release this, but I did a version of a Photograph too. That was a tough tune to sing, man. I had to sing that thing like 6, 7, 8 times, I forget, just to make it end to end, because man, there's some really high parts in there. So I'll be releasing that too, so you get a chance to check out another Def Leppard tune that I've done also. Really like these guys. I love their production. I love the background vocal sounds. They were a killer. The drums are a little dated now, but they were huge back in the day and just giant wall of sound. So, it's kind of interesting. Mutt Lange, who produced this, going from, ironically, we were talking about AC/DC. He went from producing AC/DC to Def Leppard, and then Faith Hill or whatever, a country artist, and you can actually even hear some of his like drum samples and stuff in her earlier music or whatever. But just a phenomenally talented producer as well. So anyway, guys, I hope this was beneficial to you, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Just watch my tongue, and I can't do a thing with it. No, seriously, I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was beneficial. And until next time, peace out. Hey guys, if you like what you heard, please like and subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button. That will actually take you to another page where you want to click on the bell icon, and it opens up a menu, and the menu has notifications on it where there's a little box you can check where it says send me all notifications for this channel. Check the box and then click the save button, and you'll get notifications from me every time I have a cool video come out. Okay? Thanks guys. Peace out.